My name is Sharon Fraser. I am 34 years old. I have four kids and I'm a cosmetologist. I got married at the age of 18. I met my husband at the age of 16. His name is Kenroy Fraser. His singing name is the Mighty Believer. I think most of the population know him as the Mighty Believer, the 2019 senior Calypsonian winner. We got married very young. Didn't know what we were doing. I got my first kid at 17, and we were living together since then. I stepped right into motherhood. I stepped right into being a wife. As I know, I've been doing a great job at being a mom, a mother, and a wife to a mother to my four kids, and a wife to Mr. Fraser all these years. Um, Marriages have its ups and downs. I know that. I stepped into these thing without any help from family, his family. I was isolated from my family because I moved to the village where he's living, which is Belgium Village, West Coast Borbies. And I've been doing my job pretty well. I've laid foundation out for my kids. I have supported Fraser in all his adventures, in everything that he does and he did. I've been a supportive wife and a mother until we all know how some men get after years of marriage, until Mr. Fraser starts stepping out of his marriage. And being married, society look at us women to keep our home intact. So when we come across the difficulties and infidelities of our husbands, we got to forgive them and look the other way and move on. And I have forgiven my husband countless times in his infidelities. Too many to mention things that I haven't told family members or friends because I'm a person. I don't like to bother people. So I did my best I can to continue with my family because I came from a broken home and I did not want that for my kids. I did not want my girls to go through that and I did not want my son to go through that. So I stayed, and I prayed and I tried to repair. Over the years, I was pregnant with my last child, a 4 year old, which is four now. I was pregnant with her. That is when we bought our first car. We bought our first car in 2019. And things get real bad, real uphill, because Mr. Fraser started going out as he would wish. He started coming home 2 and 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. I cannot ask no question because if I did, it would have been an argument. So, who know me know I can be very silent when I want to, and I can be very disrespectful when things get more than me. I choose to stay silent and I choose to work on my kids. I still choose to keep my family intact. 2022, Mr. Fraser was charged with alleged, alleged sexual assault. He was in the lockup for 3 days. I stood by my husband at that time because it's my husband, I guess. Um, it happens that the story was at Michael. The story happened at Michael station. He was there. He was transferred to Providence Station down Georgetown. And the family, his family and I, knowing that he was the one at the time supporting the family financially, we begged the girl that made the allegation against him to make up the story, which he did.
When you say makeup, what do you mean?
Like to drop the case or to drop the story against him.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was she made it up for $100,000. Okay. We came out of that situation. She did agree. We came out of that situation. Being a wife, I turned to my husband and I turned to him and I said, Fraser, things getting bad. Let us go counseling. Let's see a marriage counsel because when we got married, we had never seen a marriage counsel. We just got married just like that, and that was it. We were young, nobody talked to us, nobody showed us the way. So when that happened, as I get older, I start to realize certain things. So I said, let us go to a marriage counsel. He turned and he said, what we gonna go marriage counsel for? We as big people, we could handle our story on our own. I said, Fraser, this thing isn't nice. I am not getting nice. It's not nice to me because I have forgiven you umpteen times, so many times. And every time I talk to you about the way I'm feeling about this situation, is easy would say, oh, you damage. Oh, you're always looking for problem. I always looking for trouble. He's the one who's provided financially. He got to do what he got to do. And I just kept focusing on my family. That come and pass. He got involved with somebody else, which he asked me for a divorce so he could marry this girl and go overseas for visa. I told him and I said, I said it was okay because before we got married, apparently his family had some girl for him to marry and go overseas. So when we would get our arguments, he would throw that back in my face. He would cuss me and tell me it's best if he married and go overseas. He would have done over there by now and these kind of stuff. So I got older, I got wiser. And after hearing certain things, being verbally abused like that, being cursed out like that, you tend to get silent. So I said, it's okay. I don't have a problem. I would give you the divorce. But when you go over there, I am not going to dupe anybody. When you do that, consider me you finish. You can stay with the girl because his thing was that he was going to marry the girl and get his visa and then come back a couple years and marry me and take me and the kids away. And I said, I am not for that because I have 3 girl children and I don't want somebody to do that to them in the future. He said, it's okay. He changed his mind. I said, okay, finish there. And I thinking that my husband had dropped the whole conversation with the girl. He did not. It continued. I eventually hacked his phone. I was in his phone for months. I watched him conversate, share videos, recordings, until one day it got to me and I reached out to the person. I did not reach out to her in any rude way or any of its sort. I just reached out to her. I said, man, did you know or do you know that Fraser is married? She said, yes. He said, she said he told her that our marriage isn't working out and we are planning on getting a divorce. I said, that is not of the sort. Anyway, I told him the evening when he came home that I spoke with the girl. He told me to say that Mr. Man was so hungry He snatched my phone out my hand and break it. Because I told him I had a conversation with the girl, and I told the girl what was his plan with her. Right? I told her that what he was planning to do and what's not. And he got angry and we had an altercation and so on. From then on, I don't strangle on certain things for a long time, so I just let it ride as normal. Just let it ride, let it go. And constantly, if we have an argument, he would snatch my phone out my hand, carry it to work, run away with it, take it to people so they could hack it, and these kind of thing. Reason being, he say his money by the phone, so he has the right to do what he wants to do with it. Anyway, leading up over the years, I turned and I said, Fraser, this thing is getting bad again. Let's go to church. He said, I go to church and pray for E. Let me and my children go to church and pray for E. When he finish doing what he want to do, he gonna stop. I said, I am not gonna spend my years in church praying for you, a man that know what you're doing. You're saying you know what you're doing, and that is not right. So being here, being honest, I start going out. I was never a person that goes out or hanging out or being out. I was always at home. The only time we would go out is if we went out as a family or we did something together as a couple. That's the only time I used to go out. So I started going out on my own. I started going out with friends. I started going to parties. Depression had the worst in me. Anxiety had the worst in me. I started drinking. While doing all of that, I still concentrate on my kids. I still got up. I focus on my kids. My son is a A+ student, passed 10 subjects because I still got a pandit where I had to do that as a mother. My daughter top her school, end up in PC because I still got a pandit what I did as a mother. I laid the foundation. I laid the foundation in my kids. He provided the money, yes, but I laid the foundation as a mother. I laid the foundation as a wife. I fought tooth and nail for my family. It started getting to a place where every time it was some cussing, every time it was some fighting, the police were involved, where the kids were used to be calling the police. It get bad. It get really bad. Still, I told him, I said, "Man, Fraser, we need a break. This thing isn't nice, especially for the kids." I said, "Man, if you could stay downstairs and I stay upstairs for a while, just for the sake of the children, because this fighting, this hatred, and this feeling towards you, I don't have it anymore. You've taken enough of me. I don't think I could do this anymore." He said, "This is his house, and nobody can die in his house, and he want party or I cannot, he cannot perform or I cannot be his wife in sexually. He cannot." So I got myself a work because he start stingy in money and keeping away money from us, keeping money from me. He would leave $2,000 sometimes just to cook during the day. So I got myself a work at a supermarket in Rosignol because I wanted to be from out under his clutch of asking him for money. Because when I asked him for money and he gave me money, he wanted to receive, he wanted me to do my wifely duties as a wife. That's where I would put it.
For money.
Yeah, that's the only way he would give it, or if I asked for it. So when I asked for it, I got myself a job because I wanted to come out from under that. So I went and got myself a job, and I said to him, I said, for the sake of the kids, let me stay upstairs. And again, I said, you can be downstairs because the way we works, something works 2 weeks night, 2 weeks day. So I said, man, when you're home during the day, I gonna be at work, and nighttime I gonna be home, you gonna be at work. We can handle it like that for the time being until I get a place or look for a place to rent or whatever the case might be, because I cannot stand the fighting, the cussing. The kids, when the kids call the police or the kids intervene, he would coerce them, he would lay course on them. I want to punish them and or deprive them of giving them money to go to school. So I got myself a job. We got into a fight in March where I came home a day from work and it get into a big altercation. We end up at the police station, which being that wasn't the first time that he hit me. I did not make the report the first time he hit me. The second time he hit me, I made a report. I made a report, and the I had a medical report. The police sent us to welfare. They sent us to welfare, and they after the second altercation, they told me not to go home, back to the home because it was violent. So I stayed by my sister in town, and I came up the next day and we went to the welfare. While on my way, my brother brought me up the next day because I wasn't 100%. My brother brought me up from town the next day. I got a private phone call where he's stating that if I go to the station again or if I go make a report, what he's not gonna do to me, threaten me.
What did he say exactly?
He said, well, he always promising to damage my face, like acid or hit me on my face and this kind of stuff. He said if I go there, he's drive car, he could knock me down anytime on the road. Or he gonna kill me and nobody ain't gonna know because the way how we work, he work on a ship and he could come off the ship and do we want to do to me in the house and head back to work. Those were the threatening things that he said to me. And he could go to work and like look come home because nobody would know. So I turned back. I asked my brother if he could take me back to my home, which is in Belladrum. I got a few pieces of clothes and I leave. It wasn't at home in the morning. And I went and I booked, my brother booked me into a room where I stayed there for a couple of days. And before I got a place to rent in 22. And I stayed there for a couple of days. I did not go to work for a couple of days. I was so scared. Nobody knew where I was while the kids were at home. So I guess he wanted me to move before he moved me. He wanted me to move out so it would look that I run and leave. I guess he got that part right. And I leave. And we end up going to the welfare, end up going back to the welfare after we get started things started out. The welfare tell me when I get a place to rent, when I have a place of my own, I can get my kids, which I did. Um, the guy that I am with at presently, that is the guy that he start threatening me over. Start threatening what he's gonna do to me. If he can't get me, nobody else ain't gonna get me, and this kind of stuff. Yeah, and things got complicated real fast, real quick. I got my work. I got to work in the SS security service right in Berbice here. He found out that I was pregnant. He found out that I am working. After he made the allegation to threaten me that what he's not going to, if he see me on the road mother's night, we ain't going to do me and all this type of thing. I went and I took out a protection order against him. I take out a protection order against him. The judge told me to keep my records because I had him on records where he threatened what he's not going to do me when he see me. And when he found out that I got a job, he found out that everything's going right for me. He went and he spoke with the lady that is in charge. Can I call her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Denise McPherson. She's in charge of the security service. He went and he spoke to her. I don't know what he told her. He called me in the Monday. He went to court the Friday for, he summons me, before then he summons me for child support. We went to court the Friday. The judge ordered me to pay $25,000 a month. I said, I don't have a problem with it because I'm working. I could afford it. The Sunday I was off duty on the Saturday and the Friday. The Sunday I went back to work. The man asked me if I could come to the office on Monday. I went to the office on Monday and she called me into the office. Denise McPherson, and she asked me, she said, are you pregnant? I said, yes. She said, well, you could no longer work with us. And from there, I blacked out. The anxiety, I ended up in the hospital with high pressure and everything. And I found out later on that it was him that did it. I have a recording of him, people saying it's him that did it. He said he did not have no hands in it, which I know and everybody know that he did because they are all party friends. Anyway, that happened. I had to move out from the place where I was renting because I couldn't pay my rent, and I did not couldn't pay no child support, children support at the time because I am not working. And being a cosmetology in Barbies, when you're now starting, is hard. So I am being victimized now. Mr. Fraser is creating Facebook account. He's coming after me. If I'm on the road and he see me, he's trailing me. He is saying that, oh, I am under the influence of obia, iniquity, and these kind of thing. I am not in my right senses. And the reason being why I am making this report is that I am afraid for my life. Mr. Fraser have people in high places. Mr. Fraser was on remand for 1 week. He's stating that he never been there. I am afraid that if I do move from where I'm presently at for the sake of my kids, Mr. Fraser is gonna tell himself strongly that, oh, she moved from where she there. She no longer under the influence, and he's gonna try to come after me. And when he do, and he find out that, well, I am not I'm in my right sense, and I'm not in the influence, he's gonna try to harm me. And that is why I'm so afraid for my life because I cannot go nowhere. He's taking the kid's phone. He's texting me on the kid's phone, saying all manner of things to me. And when I ask the kids, they're saying it's not them, it's their father. They did not have the phone. He's making it look like the kids don't want anything to do with me. And we're seeking the help of the welfare, and they're saying that I need to go to the family court, which I cannot afford family court right now. And being being with the kids right now, the emotional blackmail and the emotional struggle and the verbally abuse that they're going through in his home presently, I cannot sit back and watch it because the 11-year-old have to take care of the 4-year-old. When will she find time for herself? The 18-year-old is living with him. He work. He don't be home all the time. Who combs the 4-year-old girl hair? Who dress her? Who clothe her? Who bathe her? Who cooks for her? I just want my kids. I just want to have access to my kids. And I don't mind sharing them with him. I have asked Mr. Fraser umpteen time. May you cannot work. Please allow the kids. They can still have a good life. Not because you cannot work, it doesn't mean that you're keeping them away from me. It's not right. I seen the state of my child. The other day, he made an allegation against me saying I am smearing his name, saying, oh, he's a rapist and he went to jail for rape and these kind of thing. He say I am social, I'm posting thing on social media about him and that. He took my 4-year-old to the station just to antagonize me.
Which station?
Fort Wellington.
And what did they
Well,
do?
that police station. They called both of us there. They called both of us to the station. Well, they called me to the station. They said Mr. Fraser took out the allegation saying that I am scandalizing his name. What is the correct word? On social media saying he's a rapist. So I said, well, when he showed the evidence, I did not mention his name in anything. I did not say anything about it. Anyway, they warned me and they said if I'm doing that, I should desist. I said, okay. Mr. Fraser went home and bring my 4-year-old from home at that station. This is what finally broke me. He brought a child at the station. Hold on that child's hands. She saw me. Hold on that child's hands so tight. You wouldn't lose her. All she did was wave to me. When we enter back into the room where the officers was to speak with us again, one of the officers took her from his hands because he still hold on her hand and I was sitting over on the opposite side. So she took her. She was like, who is that lady to you? The child turned and said, that is Mistress Fraser. So the officer took her in between her legs and she said, who is that woman to you? She said, that is my mommy. I love her. She said, Daddy always fighting mommy. Every time daddy come home, daddy always fighting mommy. I, I sat there and I was so, so heartbroken to watch her own father did that to her because she cannot get the image and the sight and the thing out of her head that we were always fighting. I did not tell her to say that. He's with her 24/7. But that is the image my 4-year-old child has. And I have brilliant kids. All four of my kids are brilliant. And seeing that, I went to the welfare. I went to the welfare on Tuesday because I know was it to be emotional abuse. I know is it to be under Fraser clutch of him blackmailing me with money and these kind of things. And being that I've been with him since the age of 16, I have nobody. I have He kept me away from family and friends, and the control that he had when he find that I am he's finally losing the grip on me, it started to get bad. So I want to put my story out there because I am afraid for my life. I get up every day and when I scroll the social media, you're seeing some ex-husband, some ex fiance stabbing their wife. And people are saying, oh, these things aren't serious. But for me, I am very, very afraid of my life. Because I could be walking down the road one day and next, Mr. Fraser knocked me down or Mr. Fraser throw acid on me because he always saying that he would, if he can't get me, nobody else can get me. He always threatening to burn me on my face. I found acid water in our home already. So That's why I decided today to put my story out there because it's not getting it's not cooling down. He's doing a lot, and then it's making it look like I am the bad person, which I just want to move on. I just want peace. I just want access to my kids, and I just want all of this to finish. I'm scared for my life because I don't know what Mr. Fraser could do at any point in time. I don't know what he can do because he's claiming that I am I've been spiritual, under the spiritual some influence. I am not in my right sense. So I just want the welfare to listen to these voice notes, listen to these things, and try to get me my kids. They could come and see where I'm living. They could do the investigation and just get my kids out from under Fraser 24/7 because it's not easy for them. It's not easy what they're going through. It's not easy for my 11-year or my 4-year old.
Are you getting any justice at the welfare, you believe?
So far, they said I need to go to the family court. They give me a letter to go to the family court. I need to get a lawyer where we would do that at the family court. But I am not financially there to present my case at the family court because I was there before and they said the same thing. They said I had to get a job. The legal aid said I got to get a job. I got to get a place where I'm staying, which I did. And I lost that place. This is the only place where I'm at right now and I feel safe because from a bus or a car, I come straight into this yard. I don't have to walk down no street. I don't have to go no way far. All I'm asking is for them to look in more into the matter and come and see the place where I'm at so I can have access to my kids. These are girl children. They need me. I need them. My 11-year-old cannot be doing all of that thing for a 4-year-old sister. He's claiming that he's working on the ship. When he's away, who take care of the two girls? Nobody. My son is be at work. Where are the two girls? They're alone at home. So we have to go back. We have to take them back to the welfare on Tuesday so the welfare could talk to them. So I don't know what is the move from then on. I need more authorities to look into it because the emotional abuse that my kids are going through is not nice for me. I know how stubborn and persistent and controlling Fraser could be. I've been through it. And he's doing the same thing with my girls.